Okay, the fridge. Sometimes we keep things in our fridge and we keep them in our fridge for a very long time. If we keep our things in the fridge for a very long time, we tend to forget how long they have been there because you're not writing any date or anything. But with fridges and freezers, you have to be very, very, very mindful. I would say if you keep things in your fridge or freezer bi-weekly, change them, rotate them, eat them off. Sometimes people keep things in the freezer for like months and months and months. Yes, it is a preservation gadget. Yes, it looks as if they still are fresh. But when you think about it and you're looking at, oh, it still looks fresh. It's wilting. The taste is going. And as the taste is going, definitely you know that it's going to taste off when you cook it. Sometimes some people keep bread in the fridge for 2 months. And because it's not spoiled, you bring it out and you thaw it. It looks fresh, it seems fresh, it tastes fresh. It's not really as fresh as it may seem to be.
So because of power, you really can't put stuff in your freezer for long periods.
Correct, yes. And that's even more so when you know you have fluctuating electricity. Don't assume because you've come back from work and it's frozen that it hasn't been thawed for the last 5 hours. You have to be extremely mindful of what you put in your fridge. And that's why I say, you know what, whatever is in your fridge, take it, churn your fridge all the time. Clean it out. Look at what's been there for a long time. Don't just add more things so that you've done more shopping and you've added more things on top. Put the old things on top and really eat them off. Otherwise, you find that you're prolonging the food, and of course, lots of things can happen. Yes, the fridge again too. The fact that you put things in your fridge doesn't mean that it can't get spoiled. Even with your fridge on 24 hours, food still gets spoiled, staying in the fridge for a long time. Especially things like dairy food and milk, it can get spoiled even in the fridge. So I always tell people, always use things within a couple of days, especially if you've cooked food. If you've cooked food in your and you've put it in the fridge because it's leftovers, within 2 days, max 3 days, eat it. If you know you don't have constant, just eat it off.
And if you don't have an appetite, give it to someone.
And that's it. Take them. I do that. I prune my fridge. Okay, this has been here for a long time. You guys, eat it off, because it doesn't make sense staying in the fridge any longer. You're actually setting yourself up for food poisoning, even though it's been in the fridge, even though you've had light constantly. It is setting yourself up for food poisoning. And when it comes to cleanliness as well, a lot of people think that they have cleaned the kitchen, swept it, and they've left. I always say mop the kitchen floor. Mop the kitchen floor every night, and bleach your surfaces every night. Okay, and finally, storage. Again, I mentioned before, not more than 2 days in the fridge if it is pre-cooked food. Okay, avoid food poisoning by making sure that you cover your food as well. So don't just put things in the fridge without covering them. Better still, put them in sealed containers. You know, containers that are made for the fridge itself, or freezer bags, as the case may be. Be careful with dairy products like yogurt and milk when you're keeping them in the fridge as well, because they can spoil. Sometimes it's a good idea to label food that you put in the freezer. When you're storing your food, it's a good idea to label them. If you can, sometimes put the date. So sometimes you get a permanent marker and you're using freezer bags. Sometimes just put what is inside that freezer bag and put the date by it, because it helps you, okay? Also, when it comes to storage, we always like keeping things in our pantry, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes we bought tins and tins and tins of something because it's cheaper to buy it as wholesale. But guess what? Look at the expiry date as often as you can, because it can go expired. Okay.
I have had occasion to throw out some evaporated milk because I just purchased a whole lot of it and I wasn't checking the sell-by date or use-by date, and by the time I went,
you can't use
I had cans and cans and cans and cans of milk off.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
And they all, of course, went in the trash.
Good. And then again, when it comes to storage as well, you bring things out of the freezer. You know, they tell us in other places, well, once you bring it out, you're not supposed to cook it frozen. You're supposed to defrost it. That's what they say. Defrost it first and then cook it. You know, and normally it makes sense, okay, when you do that. Having said that, okay, it's time for break.
Yeah, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Closing moments with Janet. Please don't go away.
Ladies, We know we like our comfort, but did you see those young ladies walk into the restaurant totally inappropriately dressed? One of them is coming from the spa, so she decides that she comes down to the restaurant with her robe. What about the lady wearing her lovely skimpy little shorts? That's an absolute no-no. Back to our young gentlemen. This looks sumptuous, but can you imagine? They're here for a business meeting. When you eat all of that, you're only going to go back to your office and do what? You get it, you're going to sleep. But this is what we see all the time. People go to restaurants, people go to functions, and they pile their plate up. You know you're not going to eat all that food, so why pile it up? But you must remember one thing. Buffet means you can go there back time and time again. It's eat as much as you like, but eat it sequentially. Talking about starters, main meal, and dessert. The young gentleman has mixed it all up. He has his starter, which is the salad, as well as his finisher, the dessert, all in one plate. That's a no-no. Your main meal always is starter, salad or soup, main course, and then the dessert comes after.
Thanks for staying with us. Janet is still in the house. Wrap up now, Janet.
Yes, and we're wrapping up with safety. Because no kitchen, is without the safety gadgets. Wherever you go, safety in the kitchen is very important. You're talking about gas, you're talking about sharp objects and all of that. So first of all, I want to ask you, when it comes to cutlery, though, part of safety, I always tell people what you use every day, keep it aside from what you use from your guests, because some people just take out the same thing, use it for everybody, every Jack Robinson. You need to have your set for your guests, and you need to have your set that you use every day. Okay, that's really important. But of course, when it comes to knives, we see this beautiful set of knives. They come in this, tabletop thing, and it's there. I think time and time again, if you have children in the house, it's more than important for you to keep your sharp objects away, especially knives. Keep them in the drawers, and higher drawers where they can't really get to them. That's really important. Gas as well. We use gas a lot, but you've heard so many gory stories about gas. If you do have a gas cooker that is, linked to a switch, you always have to remember to turn that switch off at night, because any kid can go to the gas knobs and turn it on without even knowing it, without even thinking about it. And gas takes time to seep out before you know it, before you smell it, and we don't want anything like that. So turn it off from the switch so that there's no easy access to that as well. More importantly, sometimes we have the microwave on, we have the kitchen the kettle on and all of that. It's really important to go around your kitchen at the end of the day and turn off all electrical appliances from the wall, most especially because we see a lot of fluctuations in the electricity. Anything can trigger off anything, and more importantly, if you do and you're fortunate to have ACs in your kitchen as well, you do need to turn them off at the mains, Okay. So safety is very key in the kitchen first and foremost. Yep.
So lately we've heard about cell phones in the kitchen as well.
Absolutely. Even cell phones in the kitchen as well, very important. You don't take your cell phones to the kitchen, and you also don't use them near the microwave as well.
Could you emphasize that again?
Wow.
You don't take your
cell phone.
Having your cell phone in the kitchen is not the issue. It is actually using it beside certain objects in your kitchen, appliances that you need to be mindful of. So it's not like you can't pick up the phone in the kitchen, but when you're near the microwave, when you're near the cooker and places like that, you need to keep your mobile phone away from those kind of gadgets.
Janet Adetu,
Okay.
etiquette coach. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Well, the greatest takeaway for me is beware how you use your cell phone in the kitchen, because we've heard of real tragic accidents taking place as a result of that. Thank you, Janet.
You're welcome.
See you next week.
Thank you. Yes.
Okay. Sunrise will be right back with the home stretch in just a moment.